The Daily Purge. Yes, indeed, man. It's already Wednesday. You believe that? What are you doing this Wednesday? What a wonderful day it is, right? What a wonderful day it can be. I thought I hated your ring. I was like, oh, what is that? It's a reflection. Hope you're doing fantastic. Man, what a day. I'll tell you, we're still coming off Bufo and having the I don't know, I can't think of the English word now always, but the realizations of what's going on and what happened and things you saw and things you didn't see and having what you would call a flashback or whatever. But, it's really making me and myself and Lane and my family, it's really giving me another perspective of what life is all about, man. I mean, and then you ask yourself, why aren't you living the life you're supposed to live? And I was on a live just now with a friend, Lauren Resnick, Queen with a backpack, Princess with a backpack on Instagram. We did a live. And we were talking about risk, right? And why people are scared to take risk, and why don't they take a risk, and why won't they take a risk? I guess you could say. I can't seem to find this where to share it. I'm sorry. And it came down to the point like, well, what's a risk anyway? I mean, people say all the time, well, I need a regular paycheck. I need this, that, or the other. I need to know that I don't have my paycheck every week. I can pay my rent and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, okay, I get it. That's I've been there. I've been there as well, and I've been comatose in my fear of not being able to afford that. And that's all great and good. Hey, Klaus, grüß dich, mein Lieber. Hello, Daniel. And that's all part of reality, I guess, that we created. So the question is to yourself, like, how much risk are you willing to take to live the life that you want to live? And it's easy to say, yeah, well, I got this and I got that and the other, and I'm going to do it once I retire. And well, I can tell you one thing: tomorrow never comes. It never freaking comes. If you're waiting for something to happen so you could do something, it's not going to happen. I can promise you that. It just doesn't happen. You don't end up somewhere because you were waiting. You end up somewhere because you take action. Like what we like to call imperfect action, right? So, what kind of life do you want to leave, right? It's called money. I don't have any. Well, it's called you're programming yourself when you say that. Believe me, I know, Jared. I've been there. I was homeless, 2008. And so if you say I don't have any money, well, then that's you telling yourself you don't have any money. That's why we always talk about that internal dialogue, right? That internal dialogue is so freaking important. If you're telling yourself, oh, I can't make it, it's not going to work. Again, another client left me hanging. They didn't pay or whatever. Well, that's what you're dictating in your life. And as harsh as that sounds, it's true. And I know it because when I'm in that mode, which still happens sometimes, because, we invest a lot in our businesses and in our lives and things like that. I know there's a difference between poor and broke. I know that poor is a mindset. Broke is a fixable thing. Right. But, I live a life when we're just in Mexico, where I was in Berlin, I bought a new car, went to America, that kind of stuff. And sometimes you're like, okay, I need to make some money. And once I start saying need, and once I start worrying about it, then I know, I'm not going to get it. So I have to completely let go. And what happens to me is that when I get down to the wire and it has to happen that day, then it happens. And for me, the programming that I'm working on is so I don't do it only when it has to happen, but that I do it all the time. Right. And so that I know that's an internal thing. The external, again, is a complete interpretation of our inside. So if I believe I'm not worthy of money, then I'm not going to make any money. Right. And if I speak it to myself in that internal dialogue, I'm definitely not going to make that money that I need. I might make enough, but I won't make more than enough. And that's where the issue lies with so many people, because look, again, I said it yesterday in one of my lives, 95% of our reality is dictated by our subconscious. So what kind of life do you want to live? We talk about taking risks. What's a risk, first of all? A risk for some people is asking for a promotion. Daniel, seems like there's never enough money. Well, again, if that's what you think, then that's what's going on, right? Hey, Jose, how you doing, brother? If that's what you think, brother, then that's what's going on. Hey, Mirza, how you doing, brother? And so if you think a risk is asking for a promotion, well, I think a risk is like, okay, I'm going to stop doing everything I'm doing right now and start new in a different country where I don't speak the language. That's a risk for me. I've done it. I've lived in 9 countries. I've quit my job from one day to another. I completely canceled my entire career from one day to another without any idea of what I was going. But I was certain that I was going in a direction that I needed to go. And if you talk about freedom, the most freedom I ever had to a certain point in my life was when I was, of course, Phoenix. It was when I was homeless in 2008. I felt a freedom like I had never felt to that point in my life. Why? Because I had no worries about money. I had no worries about people. I had no worries about deadlines. I had no worries about budgets. I had no worries about revenue, none of that stuff. And I was like, wow, this is true freedom. And then as I was homeless, I could have gotten a job, but I didn't. I stayed homeless a little bit. I wasn't taking any government support, so it didn't matter. And then I said to myself, well, why can't I have this feeling and also be gainfully employed as an entrepreneur? You know, why is it got to be one or the other? And that's when I started my journey on finding the way to make as much money as possible with as little work as possible, with as much joy as possible. And I have to say, I'm at a pretty good point right now. And it's something that I want to share with people that I know, because you're only stuck because you believe you're stuck. You can only take calculated risks because you think you can only take calculated risks. You see, when we're thinking like that, we're thinking in structures like this. Well, there is no structure to the universe. I mean, that we see, right? There's no common conscious structure to the universe, in my opinion. There's a structure out there, but we can't conceive of it by any shape or mean. We can see parts of it and rips in it and stuff like that, or gaps or whatever. But until we realize that we have to let go to attract the things that we need in our life, what you resist will persist, right? If you hold on to something, where's it going to go? Nowhere, right? So if you're holding on to fear, where's it going to go? Nowhere. Fear is as thin as a piece of paper, right? Once you break through, you're like, oh, why was I scared? I had no reason to be scared. Right. And so that's what you got to ask yourself sometimes. Like, what am I scared of? What am I really scared of? And for me, it's real simple. Being scared of something or having fear of something is always, for me, invigorating. Like, that's where I want to be. If something's not a challenge to me, if something's not exciting to me, if something's not almost scary to me, then I typically won't even do it. Because for me, it's like, well, why would I do that? There's no challenge. If I'm not going to grow or I'm not going to learn, then what's the point, right? So your life, your time, your decision, right? What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? You know, you want true freedom? Well, then go out and get it. That's what I did. Go out and grab it. Fear is a liar. Amen, Jose. Fear. What is it? False evidence appearing real. That's what they say in that book, A Happy Pocket Full of Money. If you haven't read it, read it. A Happy Pocket Full of Money will change the way you look at money, right? It's not about money at all. It's about yeah, I'll let you read it. Yeah, I'll put it that way. Happy Pocket Full of Money. You can watch it on YouTube for free. It's an 8-hour audiobook on YouTube for free. Yeah, so you don't spend any money. There you go. How's that? I'm already saving you money. Think about that. All right. So hope you're doing fantastic. Hope you have a fantastic day. It's your life. Go out and live it and grab what's yours and make sure that you live every single day taking the challenges that are in front of you so you could grow, make your business better, make your life better. And for all those in your life enterprise, creating space wherever you go, investing in relational capital, all that time, ensuring that you're living by the HIT principles and that you're creating that massive, massive, massive quality of life. See you tomorrow.